Alice's dreams were like the stars that twinkled above her small, humble home in the countryside, bright, distant, and full of promise. At 10 years old, she lived with her family in a modest two-bedroom house surrounded by fields and a red clay road that stretched endlessly toward the horizon. Despite the challenges, Alice's spirit was as unyielding as the clay beneath her feet. Every morning, rain or shine, Alice embarked on her daily journey to school. The round trip of 2 kilometers along the muddy road tested her determination. The rain turned the clay into a slick, treacherous path, causing Alice to slip and often return home covered in mud. Her mother, Isa, would swiftly wash and dry Alice's only school uniform using an iron heated on their wood stove, ensuring it was ready for the next day. The school had a strict policy about uniforms, and Alice's attendance was non-negotiable in her eyes. Alice's father, Ben, worked long hours on a nearby farm, his hands calloused from years of labor. Their home was filled with the laughter and chatter of Alice and her 4 siblings, all of whom shared a single room. Despite the cramped conditions and the endless chores, there was a warmth in their household, a sense of unity and hope. After school, Alice would arrive home around 4 in the afternoon. Isa would heat water on the wood stove, and the children would take turns bathing. Alice, always diligent, would then sit at their small wooden table to do her homework. Her academic excellence was a point of pride. She was the best student in her class. Her love for reading was insatiable, and her teacher, recognizing this, would lend her books to devour. Each book was a new adventure, a new piece of knowledge, and Alice cherished every page. In the evenings, Alice would help her siblings with their homework, reinforcing her own understanding while fostering a love for learning in them. When Ben returned from the farm, the family would gather for dinner. Their meals were simple but hearty, often consisting of fresh vegetables from their garden and bread that Isa baked. Television was a luxury they couldn't afford, so bedtime came early. Before falling asleep, Alice would whisper her dreams into the night. "I'm going to be a successful lawyer and visit Paris," she would declare with unwavering confidence. Isa would listen, her heart heavy with the weight of reality, yet she never extinguished Alice's dreams. She would kiss her daughter's forehead and say, "Sweet dreams, my love." Late at night, Isa would confide in Ben. "Alice continues to say she's going to be a successful lawyer and visit Paris," she would say softly. Ben, always pragmatic yet hopeful, would respond, "Let the girl dream. Dreams are what keep her going." Alice's fascination with Paris had begun when her teacher brought a magazine to school. The images of the Eiffel Tower, the Seine River, and the bustling streets of Paris captivated her imagination. From that moment on, Paris became the symbol of her aspirations. Every day before leaving home, Alice would give her mother a kiss and say, "Mom, one day I will be able to give you a better life. I will study hard to achieve everything I dream of. Our life will change, I promise you." Her words were a daily mantra, a vow that fueled her determination. Alice went to school with a single-minded focus on winning. She paid close attention in class, absorbing every lesson like a sponge. During recess, while other children played and laughed, Alice would sit in a quiet corner, continuing to read the book her teacher had lent her. Her classmates found her odd, and the girls especially didn't like her much because she preferred studying to playing. One day, a girl in Alice's class arrived with a brand new backpack, a beautiful, colorful backpack that caught everyone's attention. Alice didn't have a backpack. She carried her notebooks, books, and other supplies in a plastic bag. Despite this, Alice wasn't ashamed. Her determination to succeed far outweighed any desire for material possessions. The girls laughed at her, mocking her makeshift school bag. "Look at Alice," they teased. "She only has a plastic bag to carry her school supplies." Alice looked at them calmly and said, "One day I'll have a backpack, too. My parents can't buy one now, but that's okay. I'm here to learn, and that's what matters." The taunt stung, but Alice's resolve never wavered. She knew that her path to a better life lay through her education. She studied hard, her eyes always on the prize, her dreams guiding her steps. As the school year progressed, Alice's perseverance began to pay off. Her teachers noticed her dedication and academic excellence. She won a scholarship for outstanding students, which not only covered her school expenses but also included a stipend for school supplies. With the first payment, Alice bought herself a sturdy, practical backpack. The next day, she walked into school with her new backpack. The same girls who had laughed at her were now silent, watching her with a mix of surprise and respect. Alice felt a sense of pride, not just because she had a new backpack, but because she had earned it through her hard work and determination. Alice's success continued to grow. She excelled in her studies, winning more scholarships and accolades. Each achievement was a step closer to her dreams. And through it all, she never forgot her promise to her mother. Alice never told her mother about the girls laughing at her because she didn't have a backpack. She knew it would only bring sadness to her mother's already burdened heart. Isa worked tirelessly, washing clothes for families to help with expenses, while her father, Ben, earned a modest wage working on the farm. Alice understood their sacrifices and didn't want to add to their worries. Alice was a golden girl, mature beyond her years. She took every setback in stride, using it as fuel for her dreams. Her determination remained unshaken, and she continued to excel in school, driven by her promise to give her family a better life. The girls in Alice's class were envious of her academic success. Alice consistently excelled, always getting everything the teacher asked right and never receiving a bad grade. This made her the target of their disdain. They began to distance themselves from her and mock her behind her back, making cruel comments about her small, dusty house and the shoes that were too tight and covered in red clay dust. Alice, however, didn't let their pettiness affect her. She had a much greater purpose in mind than worrying about tight, dusty shoes or the unkind words of her classmates. Her dreams and aspirations were her guiding light, and she focused on them with unwavering determination. One day, as Alice was reading in her usual quiet corner during recess, one of the girls, Emma, approached her. Emma had always been the ringleader of the group that teased Alice. With a smug smile, she said, "Alice, don't you ever get tired of studying all the time? You're missing out on fun." Alice looked up from her book and smiled calmly. "I enjoy learning. It's my way of creating a better future for myself and my family. Everyone has their own path, and this is mine." Emma scoffed and walked away, but her words didn't faze Alice. She knew that her hard work and dedication were the keys to unlocking her dreams. One particularly rainy day, the red clay road was even more treacherous than usual. Alice slipped and fell several times, arriving at school covered in mud. The girls laughed and pointed, making snide remarks about her appearance. Alice simply brushed herself off and headed to class, her focus on the lessons ahead. One day, when Isa went to deliver the washed and ironed clothes to a client's house, the woman said, "Isa, I know your children go to school. I have a bicycle that my children no longer use. Would you like to take it for your children?" Isa's face lit up with gratitude. "Yes, thank you so much. It would help us a lot." With the bicycle balanced carefully, Isa rode home happily. The bike meant that Alice and her brother would get home earlier and wouldn't need to leave so early for school. As she approached their small house, her heart swelled with hope. This small gift would make a big difference. Soon after Isa arrived home, Alice and her brother, Tom, came in from school. Alice's eyes widened when she saw the bicycle leaning against the side of the house. "Who is here, Mom?" Alice asked, curiosity sparkling in her eyes. "Nobody, Alice," Isa replied with a smile. "But there's a bicycle outside," Alice persisted. Isa explained that the bicycle was a gift from her client. "From tomorrow on, You and Tom can ride the bike to school. It will make your journey easier." Alice and Tom were radiant with happiness. They took turns examining the bike, running their hands over the worn handlebars and slightly rusted frame. To them, it was the most beautiful thing they had ever seen. The next morning, Alice and Tom set off for school on the bicycle. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a warm glow over the red clay road. The wind in their hair and the ease of the ride filled them with a newfound joy. They arrived at school quicker and less tired than usual. As they parked the bicycle, some of the girls who had often mocked Alice saw them and started to jeer. "You don't even have money to buy new shoes, and you arrive here with an old bicycle. Everything of yours is old, isn't it?" Alice looked at them calmly, her resolve unshaken. "For now, yes. My mother got this bike from her client. It will be easier to come by bike even if it is old." Her response was met with silence. The girls, expecting Alice to be hurt by their words, were taken aback by her composure and honesty. The teacher, who had overheard the exchange, stepped in and addressed the class. "Class," she said, "we should all learn a lesson from Alice. It's not about the things we have, but how we use them to better our lives. Alice and Tom are setting an example of hard work and determination. Let's show them the respect they deserve." The girls looked down, embarrassed. From that day on, the teasing lessened. Many began to see Alice not as the poor girl with the plastic bag and old shoes, but as someone with a spirit that couldn't be broken. Alice and Tom continued to use the bicycle every day. It became a symbol of their resilience and their journey towards a better future. Alice's grades remained impeccable, and her teachers continued to support her, providing more opportunities for her to shine. In high school, Alice's hard work caught the attention of more than just her teachers. A local journalist, covering a story about exceptional students, heard about Alice's achievements and decided to interview her. The story, published in the town's newspaper, highlighted Alice's academic excellence and her aspirations. It caught the eye of a wealthy philanthropist who had. Moved by Alice's story, the philanthropist reached out to her school and offered to sponsor her education, providing not only funds for her school supplies but also ensuring she had access to extra tutoring and resources. Alice's future began to brighten even more, and she seized every opportunity with gratitude and determination. With the financial support and encouragement, Alice's path became clearer. She graduated as the valedictorian of her high school, delivering a heartfelt speech that brought many to tears. In her speech, she thanked her family, teachers, and the community for their unwavering support, and shared her dream of becoming a lawyer and making a difference in the world. Alice's academic achievements earned her a full scholarship to a prestigious university. Her departure from her small hometown was bittersweet. She was leaving behind her family and the red clay road that had been a constant in her life, but she was stepping toward the future she had always envisioned. University life was challenging but exhilarating. Alice immersed herself in her studies, determined to excel. She joined student organizations, participated in moot court competitions, and continued to read voraciously. Each step brought her closer to her dream of becoming a lawyer. In university, Alice's passion for justice and her drive to succeed only grew stronger. She joined various student organizations, worked part-time jobs to support herself, and continued to excel academically. Her professors and peers recognized her as a brilliant and dedicated student. One day, while working at her part-time job in a local cafe, Alice was approached by a woman who introduced herself as Julia. Julia was a successful lawyer who had read about Alice's achievements in a university publication. Impressed by Alice's story and her dedication, Julia offered to mentor her and provide guidance in her career. With Julia's mentorship, Alice's path became even clearer. She secured internships at prestigious law firms, where she honed her skills and built a network of supportive colleagues. Her journey was marked by hard work, long hours, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Years later, as Alice stood at the podium on her graduation day from law school, she thought back to those early mornings on the red clay road, the tight, dusty shoes, and the old bicycle. She spoke of her journey, the struggles, and the unwavering support of her family. "My journey has been filled with challenges," she said, her voice strong and clear. "But each challenge has been a stepping stone towards my dreams. My mother always believed in me, and my father's hard work inspired me to keep going. This old bicycle," she smiled, "is a symbol of how far I've come and how far I will continue to go." The audience, including her family and old classmates, listened with rapt attention. The once mocking voices were now silent, replaced with admiration and respect. Alice had not only achieved her dreams, but had also inspired others to believe in the power of perseverance and hope. As she concluded her speech, Alice looked out into the crowd and saw her mother, tears of pride streaming down her face. "Mom," she said, "we made it. Thank you for everything." The applause was thunderous, echoing through the hall. Alice knew that this was just the beginning. With her family by her side and her dreams as her guide, there was no limit to what she could achieve. And somewhere in the back of her mind, she could still hear the soft crunch of the red clay road under her old, dusty shoes, a reminder of the journey that had shaped her into the remarkable woman she had become. Upon graduating from law school with honors, Alice accepted a position at a top law firm. Her success was not just a personal triumph, but a testament to her resilience and the unwavering support of her family. Alice's first major case was a pro bono project, representing a community in a legal battle against a corporation that was exploiting local resources. Her dedication and brilliance shone through, and she won the case, earning respect and recognition in the legal community. With her first significant paycheck, Alice bought a new house for her family, ensuring they would never have to worry about their living conditions again. She also invested in educational programs in her hometown, providing scholarships and resources for other children who faced challenges similar to hers. Alice had made it to Paris, and with her, she carried the dreams and hopes of her entire family. Standing beneath the Eiffel Tower, Alice felt a profound sense of achievement. She had come so far from the girl who trudged along the red clay road with a plastic bag for a backpack. She had faced adversity with grace and determination, and now she was here, in the city of her dreams. Alice's career flourished. She became a successful lawyer known for her dedication to justice and her unwavering integrity. She never forgot her roots, regularly visiting her hometown and supporting local initiatives. She funded scholarships for other promising students, ensuring they had the opportunities she had once dreamed of. One sunny afternoon, Alice stood in front of the new house she had built for her family. It was a modest but beautiful home, filled with love and the promise of a better future. She turned to her mother, Isa, who stood beside her with tears in her eyes. "Mom," Alice said softly, "I told you our life would change. I promised you a better life, and here it is." Isa embraced her daughter, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. "Alice, you have made all our dreams come true. Your hard work and determination have given us a new life. We are so proud of you." As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the countryside, Alice knew that her journey was far from over. She had achieved so much, but there were still many dreams to pursue. With her family by her side and her indomitable spirit guiding her, Alice looked forward to the future with hope and determination. And in her heart, she knew that anything was possible. Years later, Alice returned to her hometown for a community event. The once dusty roads were now paved, and the community center she had helped build stood as a beacon of hope and progress. She was greeted with warm smiles and heartfelt gratitude from the people she had helped along the way. As Alice stood before the crowd, she thought about the girls who had laughed at her, the red clay road that had tested her determination, and the tight, dusty shoes that had carried her. through so many challenges. She smiled, knowing that every step of her journey had led her to this moment. It had tested her determination, and the tight, dusty shoes that had carried her through so many challenges. She smiled, knowing that every step of her journey had led her to this moment.